Hello everyone, welcome back to H&P Podcast, a podcast that helps you breathe easier in life. It's great to see you all again in a new episode.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine.
Why are there 8 billion people in the world, yet not a single one seems to be meant for you? If you believe that love has to be something fated, something truly romantic that just happens to you by chance, because who actually plans to have a lover, right? Then that very mindset might be the reason why, despite 8 billion people in the world, you still haven't found the one for yourself. Or maybe you think that love is something granted by fate. But why don't you consider this? If fate doesn't see your effort, why would it suddenly take pity on you and grant you a bit of luck? Is there anything in life that you can get without effort? Especially something as important as finding love or choosing a life partner for the future. So, in this podcast, I'll try my best to summarize what I've read and learned to help you find a method to discover that special someone. Stay tuned. Step 1. Motivation. To do anything, the first thing we need is motivation. And the stronger your motivation, the higher the chances of successfully achieving your goal. So, what is the reason for proactively searching for that special someone? I once mentioned in another podcast titled, "Is that person really my other half?" That love is not limited by age or gender. However, there are certain things that do set boundaries, such as mindset, core life beliefs, ethics, conscience, political views, attitude towards life, financial management in the household, parenting styles, cleanliness standards, and even expectations regarding intimacy, etc. It is precisely these core beliefs and life attitudes that determine whether two people can walk a long journey together. If you can actively find someone who not only meets your physical preferences, but more importantly, shares the same core values and life attitudes as you can significantly reduce the risk of choosing the wrong person or hurting each other. Of course, nothing in life is ever 100%, but wouldn't 70% still be better than 0%? In German, there's a saying, "Besser spät als nie," which means better late than never. Someone once told me something that, to them, was just a simple statement, but to me, it was profound and completely shifted my mindset. Always take initiative and never let yourself be in a passive position. And suddenly I thought, yeah, that makes sense. So from that moment on, whenever I don't understand something, I ask, even if the question makes me seem foolish to others. But the truth is, they don't fully understand me anyway. And as long as the answer satisfies my curiosity, I don't care what they think. I take the initiative to ask, to start conversations, and to take control of every situation. And the more I do this, the more beautiful and exciting life becomes. Why? Because when I take initiative, I feel like I have a purpose. And when I feel purposeful, I appreciate myself more. And when I love myself more, I naturally love life more. This proactive mindset has made my life far more interesting than before. And I believe the greatest motivation of all is learning how to take control of your own life, because through that, you'll learn to love yourself and love life even more. And when it comes to something as important as finding a life partner or a significant other, being proactive is even more crucial. Step 2. Defining your goal. Now that you have the motivation, are you ready for step 2, defining your goal? You've probably heard this saying before, but not everyone truly internalizes it. If you don't have a destination, you'll never get anywhere. Sounds simple, right? But sometimes, even when we hear it, we brush it off and don't focus on it. I know some people might say, "Oh, I really want a partner." But honestly, anyone is fine. I don't have any standards. My standards are really low. But that is exactly the biggest problem that prevents you from finding the right person, because you don't have any criteria to set a clear goal. Finding a life partner or significant other requires a lot of rational thinking, and rationality needs a structured approach. Never rush into deciding that you'll spend your life with someone right when you first start dating. That's when your emotions and love hormones take over, clouding your judgment and preventing you from seeing things clearly. All right, let's not drag this out. Here's how to define your goal. I've put together a simple yet effective template to help identify the key factors that align with your current life stage. The first aspects to consider are appearance, sense of humor, personality and habits, financial stability, cleanliness standards, and religion. These are 6 fundamental factors, but their importance varies for different individuals and genders. Each person will have their own priorities and specific preferences. You might even add or remove certain criteria based on what truly matters to you. For example, for me, my template would look like this. Appearance: a guy over 1.7 meters tall with a lean build and thick hair, under 40 years old. Sense of humor: someone who laughs a lot and enjoys making jokes. Personality and habits: a responsible person who loves children. I don't like smokers. Also, someone who enjoys horror movies, because sometimes I love watching them, especially the sci-fi horror ones. Financial stability: I just need him to earn more than I do. Cleanliness standards: someone who is not messy, can take care of personal hygiene, and values tidiness. Religion: none, because I'm not religious. In marketing, I learned something fascinating. If you think your product is for everyone, then it won't sell to anyone. Instead, to sell successfully, you must define your target audience and determine which customer segment best fits your product. Okay, so now we've established a list of criteria that align with ourselves, meaning we know what kind of people would be suitable for us. When you've clearly defined your ideal partner, appearance will naturally become more noticeable. Because let's be honest, when you're attracted to someone, the first thing you notice is their physical features, right? And suddenly you'll start seeing your type everywhere. If you've never defined it, your perception is vague. But once you've set clear criteria like, my ideal partner is over 1.7 meters tall, has thick hair, and a lean build, you'll start recognizing that there are many men who fit this description all around you. And at that point, all that's left to do is approach them. A key reminder: when setting goals, you need to clearly define your target audience, because if you misidentify it, you will fail. And how do you ensure that you segment your target audience correctly? Simple. You must understand your product. In other words, if you want to find the right life partner, you need to define them clearly. But more importantly, you must first understand yourself. Imagine this. If I were to demand a man who's 1.9 meters tall and earns 1 million euros or dollars per year, or even per month, that would be an overpriced startup. Totally unrealistic. So let's wake up and set reasonable expectations. Having a structured plan and method will save you time and protect you from disappointment in love, because you'll know exactly what you need. And once you've created your list and strategy, stick to it and take it seriously. Of course, life will always have unexpected variables. We can never guarantee that everything will go exactly according to plan. But ask yourself, is my life worth risking for someone or for these uncertainties? If someone meets around 70% of your criteria, that's already pretty good. But if they only meet 20%, then maybe it's time to reconsider. Because in the end, you are the most important person in your own life. All right, now let's move on to step 3. Step 3, approach. You've got your method, you've identified your target audience, and now it's time to make your move. For example, imagine you're out and about and suddenly realize, wow, the ideal future boyfriend I've pictured in my head seems to be everywhere. If you find someone interesting and really want to get his contact information, you'd walk up to him and ask for it. Usually, one of two things will happen. Either he agrees or he declines. If he declines, that's totally normal. It's not because there's anything wrong with you, it's just that the two of you aren't a good match. And his rejection should never stop you from asking for another guy's number. When it comes to online interactions, if you think someone is a good match, the usual step is exchanging Instagram, Facebook, or other social media. Once he gets home, of course, he'll check out your profile, right? At this point, think of your Instagram or Facebook like a resume. Except instead of applying for a company, you're presenting yourself to someone you're interested in. And just like recruiters, he'll be wondering, does this person have something interesting that draws me in? Here's my advice. When showing up on social media, don't be fake. Stay true to yourself, but in a well-curated way. For example, if you love reading, take aesthetically pleasing photos of your books or capture yourself in cozy reading moments. This way, people will see, oh, she enjoys books and she looks great doing it. That kind of visual appeal catches attention. On the other hand, if you're not into luxury brands, or to be honest, you simply don't have the money for them, don't post something like, wow, look at this designer bag I just bought. That's not who you are, and it's not how you want a potential partner to perceive you. Promote yourself in a way that reflects the real you. All right. Now on to step 4. Step 4, communication. You've set your goals, developed a strategy, and created an appealing image of yourself. Now it's time to communicate, whether that's through calls, messages, or face-to-face meetings. In the body language book, one key takeaway is that what you say matters less than how you say it. The best attitude to have when talking to anyone, not just a potential partner, but also friends and acquaintances, is to be confident, open, and proactive. When you take the initiative and ask questions about the other person, you get 2 benefits. First, people love talking about themselves, so they'll feel good. Second, it helps you figure out whether they're actually compatible with you. By asking, you'll learn about them and determine if they're a good match. However, don't be too nosy. For example, my ideal type is someone who gets American-style humor. But I wouldn't ask outright, hey, do you understand American jokes? That just sounds weird. Instead, I'd say something like, I watched this movie last night, and there was this hilarious scene where the characters joked around with each other. If the person also finds it funny, that's a plus. You can't judge compatibility based on one question alone, so ask different questions. Subtly, of course, and avoid making them uncomfortable. Ultimately, your questions should serve the purpose of getting to know the other person. Some people worry that having a structured approach like this might make relationships feel forced or emotionless. But the difference between marketing and human relationships is that relationships always involve emotions. Love is no exception. We all need emotional connection. The chemistry between 2 people happens in 2 ways, naturally and through effort. If you meet someone and immediately feel that electric spark, like, wow, I think I just got struck by love at first sight, that's actually your body responding to differences in immune systems, and a chemical called pheromone is at play. It's not some grand, mysterious force like people imagine. I see many people thinking, if I don't feel that instant spark, I won't pursue this person. That's a big mistake. The second type of chemistry is built over time. When 2 people feel compatible and develop a romantic connection, they naturally create an environment that nurtures their emotions. Of course, it takes a lifetime to truly understand someone. Maybe we never fully will. But never rush into a decision without a proper approach or plan. I don't believe in the saying, just close your eyes and follow your heart. We're talking about our lives here, and ultimately, we are the only ones responsible for our own choices. That's where I'll wrap up today's episode. If you found this content helpful, please share it with your friends and loved ones. Also, as always, since YouTube's algorithm favors videos with more likes, if you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button to help it reach more people. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all a peaceful evening.